Pain heals. Chicks dig scars. Glory lasts forever.
Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Smash that like button real quick right now before you forget. I do appreciate it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Shout out to the 19. We have got to talk about Lexie Hull and what she means to this Indiana Fever team. I'm putting it out there right now. I know it's early. I don't care. She needs to be in the running for Defensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year. Yes, you heard that correctly. Now, she does a lot of other things too, and we're going to talk about that. But if Caitlin Clark is the engine that makes the Indiana Fever go vroom, vroom, I wish I had some sound effects. Uh, then Lexie Hull is absolutely the spark plugs for that engine. They are a different team when she is on the court. I think that was never that was made clear in the first few games when she was coming off the bench and how the team looked when she got into the game versus how they looked before she got into the game. And then she got the nod for the starting spot in game 4. And she's got to stay there. She absolutely has to stay there. She's earned that position. She's earned the right to be out there. She puts in the work. She does all of those little things, right? All that dirty stuff that we talk about that real fans of the sport, coaches, that everyone who really knows the game says, you know what? You need players like that. You must have players like that to win a championship, and they are the players that what they bring to a team by watching, because a lot of the stuff doesn't show up in the box score. Okay, box scores give you a look into certain things. They give you a glimpse into certain things. They are not the be all end all. Okay, double doubles. Um, But I just want to go through a few things about from Lexie Hull and what we're seeing with her, and talk about her importance to the team. Now, I'm not going to go through all this clip, all these clips here. This is just defensive plays from Lexie Hull, but I want to run through at least a few of them. Now, that was a big one. That was a big one. The comeback against Washington, great stop. Caitlin Clark gets a bucket. But if you watch these, like this one, watch Lexie Hull. If you Lexie Hull is in the corner, top screen corner, okay, off the ball. Watch this play by Lexie Hull. That is, we talk about Aaliyah Boston's basketball IQ. We talk about Caitlin Clark's basketball IQ. You watch a lot of these plays defensively from Lexie Hull. Same thing. From a defensive side of the game, she gets a lot of steals by her basketball. Obviously, she's an athletic player, right? We all know Lexie Hull is athletic, but she gets a lot of her feels a lot of her defensive plays through her basketball IQ and understanding what is happening and anticipating what is coming next. All right, we have I just want to run through. I want to take a listen. This is early. This is before the season started. I think this is training camp just starting. Sophie Cunningham talking about Lexie Hull.
I just love her. I just think the defensive intensity that she brings is like unmatched. Like I told her, we were just in there. I was like, dude, you could be defensive player of the year. Like depending on how this goes, like you just have great energy, and she's just skilled in that way. And the way she cuts off the ball, her shooting ability, I think we're a lot alike besides the defensive end. So no, I'm proud of her. I think that we're just starting to learn how to play with each other, with our rhythm, our chemistry, and just going to be better from here on out.
Okay. First of all, I love self-deprecation. She's like, she does all these things well. She kind of we're a lot alike. Well, except on the defensive end. But you heard it right there from Sophie Cunningham all the way back on May 3rd. Hey, you know what? Lexie Hull could be Defensive Player of the Year. And now the question mark of that, of course, was with all these new additions, how much time was she going to get and all of that? And she has worked her way into the starting lineup 4 games in. So I'm going to give a shout out to Steph White on that. Like I said, I'm going to be critical when I think it's deserved. I got to give praise when I think it's deserved. And making that move so early in the season after what she saw the first 3 games, smart move by Steph White. Of course, we get the stuff like this, and I think this is here's the action again. I think this is again. I talk about stuff how important the pick and roll is, but it's not people. A lot of people don't understand that when I say that, I don't necessarily mean that that's everything. There's a lot of other stuff you can do off of the pick and roll, okay? It sets up a whole bunch of other stuff. It's not just about specifically that pick and roll. But here we got Boston and Clark. Clark gives it to Boston down the lane. That's where I love Aaliyah Boston when she's getting that. Not that she can't get plays on the block, and we'll see that in another video I'm working on it for the just don't breaking down Caitlin and Aaliyah. But again, you get also this stuff, right? There's the pick and roll that I'm talking about, and then we all know that that right there can become deadly, deadly for Lexie Hull knocking down that three, spacing the floor. She spaces the floor so well on offense, which again, that is something that it all goes together, folks. That is something that helps the pick and roll by her giving that space, right? And then again, we got this. Um, Love this play. This was a bucket. We just saw this the other day, but this is a great bucket. Again, Caitlin Clark. Now, first, watch this. If you look down right above the Atlanta score, you got the official. Then you've got Lexie Hull. This goes to high basketball IQ. Both Clark and Hull, of course. Clark's ability to pass and also playing together, right? You get more and more of that as you learn each other. But watch this play. You cannot sleep on these players for the Indiana Fever because Lexi says, oh, she's going to cheat. She's flat footed the defender. I'm just going to go right behind her. And then, yeah, I'm going to throw up a prayer that is going to be the ESPN top 10 play. Or it would have been back in the day. But that is, again, fantastic finish. Uh, and one of the things, now we'll listen to Caitlin Clark. This is actually back in September, but I want to run it back if you hadn't heard it or maybe you hadn't forgotten about it. But I think it's really, really important. It goes to some of the things I'm saying as well. But I think Caitlin has some really good insight here.
Yeah, I'm really proud of Lex. I thought she was very resilient. Obviously, her role has changed a lot as we've gone through the course of the year. You know, so some games she didn't get in. Some games she played a couple minutes, and now she's in a starting role, and that's really hard to do, to stay resilient, to come in and work hard every single day, to believe in yourself, to still have confidence, to have confidence in the teammates and the position that you're being put in. But to see the way she's improved, obviously I wasn't on the team last year, but just her shooting over the course of the year, even, you know, since the Olympic break, she shot the ball incredibly well, and that has added a whole nother dynamic for our team and another thing that the other team has to scout for. So I'm really proud of her in that regard, and that's definitely hard to do considering she has the toughest matchup every single night, and she just makes so many plays that, you know, get us one more possession, or you know, she gets her hand on a deflection here and there that, you know, can be a huge turn in a game for us. So she just works so hard. I'm super proud of her. I'm happy for her because, like I said, like, it was definitely a tough position to be in, and she just continued to put her head down and come to work every single day, and it certainly paid off.
She did that again this year, right? Off of the bench, brought in all these new players. Lexie Hull relegated back to the bench after earning a starting position later in the season last year, and boom, puts her head down, puts in the work. Like Caitlin said, being resilient, putting in the work, and just focusing on all those things that you can control as an athlete. You can't control the coach's decisions, right? You can't control, no matter how obvious it might be at times that you should be playing a certain number of minutes or you should be starting over someone else. It doesn't always work out that way. And a lot of athletes get discouraged by that, but Lexie Hull continues to put in the work in order to get out there. Now, here's a great play. By the way, this is also a great play by Dewana Bonner. I don't like this cut. It's a little choppy, but you'll you'll uh, you'll see the point. And here's a great play by Bonner. And couple of things I love from this. One, you'll see Lexie in here, so it is about Lexie, but also a couple of things. Bonner, I've talked about this before, right? I think she plays bigger than her height because she's long. And you also, what are we doing here? We're pressuring. We're pressuring after a bucket. So Dewana Bonner gets her hands on this ball, gets a steal, and boom, Lexie Hull. What can Lexie Hull do? It's going to pay off, folks. She is going to knock that down when she gets the opportunity to do so. Okay, which goes to this. And I want to talk about this with Lexie, but also something I think we've all seen in the WNBA that is a bit of an issue and a problem for the league, unfortunately. But we take a look at Lexi. She's been there 4 seasons. This is her fourth season now, right? She keeps getting better. She keeps getting better. 12 minutes a game in her rookie year. Didn't shoot well. I mean, her shooting percentage is under 27%, under 19% from three. Her effective field goal percentage her rookie year was 30%. Next year, still 37% field goal percentage, 21.7% from three. The 2-point went up big from 32 to 48. So still under a 42% for EF. Then the next year in 2024, which of course, look, Caitlin Clark obviously helps with that. She makes everyone better. But Lexie Hull brings a little bit of that for Caitlin Clark as well. And I think the combination and Lexie learning to play with Caitlin, she started getting looks. We've said this where she started getting looks that maybe she wasn't getting previously. But it doesn't matter. You still got to knock them down, right? And her shooting percentage jumped again from 37 to 44. 3 points, we know what happened. Finished second in the league, right? Caught fire in the second half. 47% from three, more than doubled what she did the previous year, which was better than the year before. Her EFG shot up to 56%. Now we're getting somewhere, and here we are early in the fourth season. Right now, she's up to a career high 26 minutes plus. His field goal percentage is jacked up to 53.3%. He's shooting 55.6% from three. I don't think that's going to last, but hey, obviously it's an improvement. For the first time, she's over 50% from two. Her the field goal percentage, 61.7%. Obviously, she's given some more rebounds, career high at 3.5 a game at this point, but she's playing more minutes, getting those opportunities, having an assist, 1.3 steals per game, still only half a turnover in 26 minutes, getting fouls, and now she's averaging double digits at 10 points a game. It's absolutely wild. And to that point, the one thing I want to say separate from Lexie Hull. Now, first of all, Lexie Hull, obviously, like Caitlin said, and it wasn't just last year putting her head down and putting in the work to get out there and start. It was the 4 years. But here's the other thing, and I will credit the Indiana Fever because I don't think Christy Sides was there for Lexie's rookie year. Was she there for 2023? I think she was. I'm blanking on that. Let me know in the comments below. But I know I don't think she was her rookie year. But I'll give credit to the Fever organization that was there. And I guess you can do it when you're not playing well, I guess, as a team and you're kind of at the bottom. But this is something we've talked about that too many players don't get the opportunity in the WNBA, and that is to develop. You can't expect players to come in. I mean, there are some that do it, like, hey, Caitlin Clark, and this year, Sonia Citron, Absolute Citron, and Kiki Ariafen are in Washington are doing it, but it is rare. You can't expect, and Paige is playing well. You can't expect rookies to just come in and be polished. You have to recognize, is there talent and potential there, and then bring them along. So Lexie Hull got that opportunity that a lot of players aren't getting. And again, she put in the work, put her head down and put in the work, and is now reaping the rewards. And she is such an important part of the Indiana Fever team. It's great to see what she's doing out on the court. It's great to see her being rewarded for all the hard work. She's going to be an important part of the team all season long. But anyway, I just want to throw out props to Lexie Hull. I think she deserves it and mark it here. She should be in the running for Defensive Player of the Year, possibly even Most Improved Player. I mean, if Dejanay Carrington got it last year, come on. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Appreciate you checking out this video. As always, go have the day you deserve, and I will talk to you later.